What's up, you guys? Congratulations on making it through another week's worth of hard work. This weekend, we celebrate by dedicating 100% of it to working on our dreams. The weekend is truly just the beginning for us. We only have 2 short days, so let's get the party started. Goal number 1, maintain a healthy sleep schedule. Check. Goal number 2, work on the house. Check. Last night we started off on the wrong foot. We wasted 30 minutes after I knocked down some temporary shop lights. We paid with time, we learned a lesson, so I screwed those things back on so hard that an earthquake would have knocked them down. I remember when I knocked the shop lights down that there was an excuse. It told me that I didn't have to screw it back in the right way because it would take too long. I didn't listen, I screwed that thing in, and guess what happened 3 minutes later? I knocked the shop light the same exact way, and it did not fall this time. Excuse number 1, you are dismissed. Here we are drilling a hole to run the wire from the window side wall to the non-window side wall. The first time we ran the wire, it was too short, so we had to undo our work. It's so painful every single time, but it doesn't matter. We just undo the work and don't make the same mistake again. Here I'm removing the temporary insulation I had put into place to get me through last winter. Funny how we are here now and nothing has really changed. The time passed us by and we stayed still, but that's not going to happen this year. Next year, next winter, I will be sitting here with walls, with outlets, because of the choice that we made today and that we will make for the rest of this year. Now I needed to make sure that one wire could feed 2 other wires. Thank God for the internet and the information that it provides, because without it, it would be impossible. People back in the day would wish they had what we have today. The excuse of you not knowing how to do something, and that's why you're not doing it, is not valid. So hit me with your next best excuse. Try to say that really fast 10 times. After we verified that we are able to do what we wanted to do, then we started to drill holes for where the wires will be run on that side of the wall. So I made sure to drill the hole that was perfectly sized for the wire, not any bigger, because I don't want my house to collapse by 1,000 holes. We said we would take it easy on a Friday. We thought we were just gonna stop here, but we just continued. Took out more insulation and then put in 2 more outlets in the other direction. So it might just be me, it might be my hammer, or I'm hammering like a wuss, but it's very hard to get the cable staples hammered in. I realized that when you hammer, you have to pretend you're hammering through the item. That does help, but still, it's very hard to hammer the staple in. Maybe I'm using wrong staples. Also, I bought some insulated staples, which is completely useless because these are being stapled into the studs. They're just, then it doesn't matter if they're insulated from each other. Like the left cavity is insulated from the right cavity. I guess it does matter if one has a giant hole, but I'm making sure to cover all that. Anyways. So then we said, okay, the last task of the day today will be to insulate the places where there's only wires and no outlet boxes. Because where there's only wire and it passes through the hole counts as a staple. But everywhere there is a outlet box, you have to secure it with the staple, which is very loud and I didn't want to annoy my neighbors. A bunch of excuses. And also you see the wire in the middle, all that needs to be stapled at least every 12 inches. So we decided to go with the easy ones first. Put in the insulation. Where there's wires, horizontal wire, you just fillet the insulation, which just means to tear it apart in half. And then put half of it behind the wire and half of it in front of the wire. So here using the chair as support, which was very helpful because this thing is super, super itchy. Otherwise, I would just hold it with my head, but the stool came in really, really handy. We repeat the same process for every other stud bay with only wire and no electrical boxes. We said we were going to take it easy on a Friday, and we did what we set out to do. But at this time, we are still not very satisfied. And the stud bays at the very right technically do not have any wire, so they should be easy. But the problem is that they are odd shapes, which requires us to specially cut the insulation. I just want to note that if you are putting in your own insulation, to get the insulation cutting knife. Last year I was cutting this with a box cutter and it just did not turn out to be nice and even, and it also took much longer. The difference is cutting steak with a steak knife and cutting steak fat with a spoon. After this, we were still not satisfied, so we just decided to go ahead with the staples. At this time, it was not that late. It was, I asked Google, it was like 7:40. So technically not late, nobody should be sleeping, hopefully. So we decided just to go ahead and do the staples. Let's just get this work done. You know, it's not gonna do itself. And then same thing with putting insulation for the wire only stud bays. Except this, you do that and then you have to cut around the box and then make sure to put in some extra if there's a little bit of space. It's slightly more annoying, but we still do it. And we did that for all of the outlets on this wall. Then we insulated the last odd piece on this side of the wall. If you see the last stud bay on the very left with the outlet box, the reason why I left it is because in my head, I said if I had to put in that insulation there, I would have to open up a whole new roll of insulation. I'd have to store it somewhere, but we just say screw it. Let's just do it. If we don't do it today, we have to do it tomorrow anyways. With that, we have one entire wall complete with electrical and insulation and ready for inspection. So what do we do next? We start tomorrow's work today so that we can go beyond what we imagined tomorrow. Like I said, it's pretty late at this time, so I don't want to do anything that makes a lot of noise. But I did need to get some staples in, so I did that first, and then the rest is just silent preparation. We cut and prepared the insulation pieces that we need for tomorrow, and there's also a hole in the floor, so we prepared the piece of wood that we will cut and just set us up for success tomorrow. On this day, we started off on the wrong foot. We paid in time, learned a lesson, fixed it so that we never have to pay again. We fought every single excuse and went beyond our work today so that we can go even further tomorrow. By the time you're watching this, it is Saturday morning, and we are faced with a choice: to work on our dreams or to let the time pass by. It is now 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, and I have already made up my mind. So strap in and stay tuned for another video. If you want to join me on this journey, comment down below what your goal is and the progress that you've made today. Or if you didn't make any progress, what is your excuse? And if you're scared to commit because you're scared to fail, now is the time to commit. See you guys next time.